Eloise, I don't know what's going on, but I was filming for the last episode of A Courtship, the web series, in which I am wooing you and earning your love, as it should be. You said you didn't deserve this. I heard your voice for the first time today. Hearing your voice for the first time today, Eloise, was beautiful. I mean, that first really long, in-depth conversation that we had when you were distraught about the Brussels attack and I was consoling you. I was right here. I was right here on this porch. You and I talked. And we really just deepened our love. You told me you loved me so many times in that conversation. Oh, flatter me, Eloise. How embarrassing. And then you call me this morning. You call me. I'm a stand-up comedian. I don't have phone service. You call me on Facebook. You call me on Facebook and I hear your voice for the first time, Eloisa. And you are able to correct me in person, like we've ever seen each other in person. You're able to correct me and say it's Eloisa. It is pronounced Eloisa. And I'm able to hear you tell me that. I'm so in love with you. That morning of Brussels, we came closer. And there's nothing wrong with that. That happens. That comedian that I lived with, Tom Hand, when the sirens happened, I was in the garage. I was editing episode 9, 8. I was editing... God, this has moved so fast. I was editing episode 8 when the sirens went off. And I just kept editing. Like, no tornado's gonna stop our love. What a crazy American boy, right? Eloisa? I just kept editing. Because I was determined. I am determined to win your love and earn it. And yes, you deserve it. You said on the phone you didn't deserve it. You do. You deserve every minute of this extensively long piece. A love letter to an Italian woman I've never met. All the disasters and tragedies, they bring us together. Yes, it's terrible. But they serve a purpose in life, don't they? When those tornado sirens went off, Tom Hand came scooting into the garage and was like, you should come inside, right? Because I live, it's a finished room, quote unquote. You know, look at the behind the scenes footage, you'll see how finished. I kind of unfinished it some since I've moved in. It's clutter. It's not. There's some filth. There's not a lot of filth. It's mostly clutter. This guy really does, I think this guy really loves me. That whole period. And only today do I say your name correctly, Eloisa? You say you don't deserve all of this attention, this love? You deserve so much more. I couldn't say your name right until today. You had to call me and be like, excuse me. Sweet American boy, you're not saying my name right, still. How many months have we been talking daily? Talking as, tweeting, Facebooking. I forced you to Facebook. Nobody likes Facebook, I get it. Eloisa, this is, okay. This is a very important American tradition. And I hope that I don't scare you away, or I hope that this doesn't ruin the love that we have built, you and I, together. But I want to do something right now. While I'm talking to you, that's my ex-girlfriend. I have to. One thing about people with borderline personality disorder is there's like this abandonment fear kind of thing. Like we fear we will lose people. And it's because we are so spinal tap turned up to 11 as far as emotions that we're very off-putting, and people do leave us frequently. People find us fascinating for 5 minutes and then they run away. That is the cycle we live within our lives. Thousands of people call us angels, sent from heaven to give them the light, show them the light, la illuminazione. We provide that for people. It's a service. And those people immerse with us for brief seconds. Strangers on the street. I don't know, this is my life. They immerse in you. They drink up your essence. Often they give you a gift, like a thing. And I don't mean like a gift like here's a potted plant, but I mean, 2 girls gave me their rape whistle. That's a special sort of trust. Somebody after a comedy show recently gave me, where is it? It's close. I'll find it. It's chaos in here. Chaos! Like I said, I've been filming a web series in less than 2 weeks. It's feature film length. Come on, give me a break. No, I haven't cleaned up the studio. Somebody after a comedy show gave me a wooden block that it's like an antique magic trick thing, and not only did they give me that as the token, there's usually a token. I don't know why people do that. Like, I'm the crazy one, I'm the crazy one that they met on the street and that they're like, oh my God, crazy person, you changed my life. And then they give me a magical token out of their pocket so that I remember them, because they're telling me, even though they're telling me, I'll email you, oh yeah, I'll get with you on social, they don't. 99% of them don't ever talk to me again. But they feel this need to give me a magical talisman that is their essence to reward me for the taking of essence that they did. I don't know. It's weird. It's a thing that happens a lot, Eloisa. A lot. Anyway, this little wooden block, person after a comedy show met me, told me in 3 minutes all of their traumatic details of their life and the mental illnesses that they struggle with, because I pull that out of people. Sometimes I don't even have to say anything. This was like the first 3 minutes of meeting this stranger. And then she took me to her apartment, and we smoked in the parking lot. I don't have to tell you. I think you get the idea there. But we hung out, and we talked more about trauma. And she introduced me to her family. For real. And then took me back to the other stand-up comedians in a bar where I walked around, alienated, because I've pushed them all away. They aren't very fond of... they're fond of me at a distance. Most of them are alarmed by me. We are monsters, Eloisa, you and I. And people are afraid of us. Part of that is because there's so many reasons. And we're self-aware of it. Which is the worst thing. It's like we know what it is we do to push you away. We're trying to not do that. We would love to have you in our lives. Eloisa and I would love if you friends of ours would stay. That'd be great. But, we get it. Alright? We do get it. But I alluded to a thing before I got incredibly distracted. That song, Eloisa. I weep when I hear that song. I do. Okay. There's an American tradition that is very important. An American tradition that is very solemn. There's an American tradition that's very patriotic. Eloisa. There's an American tradition that is very meaningful. Existentially profound. Eloisa. There's an American tradition that was started by a great man. A great man named Mark Zuckerberg, who dreamed of a day when privacy would not exist, when everyone's lives would be public, where every intimate detail of your life would exist online for anyone, employers, enemies, people who are trying to harm you, can see. And he is achieving that dream. It is called the Facebook. I know you know of it. Eloisa. Billions of people are on this. Billions of people need to see our love. There you are. Our love is important, Eloisa. Like we see the other people act in their social lives, you know? In order to gain importance, they diminish the value of others. Well, Eloisa, like Kanye West would say, our love is the most important love of all time. I'm going to let you finish, but our love is the most important love of all time, and it must be announced publicly to billions of people. So I want to do a really special thing right now. This is my book of faces. This is my Facebook. This is where I talk to my face folk. Those are the people on my Facebook. Or the face folkers, if I'm feeling weird and snarky. I like to say good morning to them, and I use the term face folk because that's who they are. They're face folk in my Facebook. Or face folkers. That's also a fun one. Face folkers. Hey, you guys are face folking. I'm trying to make verbs, I guess. I don't know I do know what I'm doing. I'm doing something monumental. I am going to add a life event to my book of faces, Eloisa. Because our relationship won't be real unless I announce it on the Facebook. Today we do a serious thing. I mean, I know some people would make the argument that the fact that you and I have talked, communicated with each other for months on a daily basis, and that we have explored each other's feelings and made ourselves vulnerable to each other. Some people would argue that that is the basis of a relationship, but that is incorrect. The basis of a relationship... makes us, gives us a depth, a richness. That's a sir.
Hi.
I love that guy.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes. There's a girl in the garage right now that's talking about how I was talking to my roommates about how she's a good writer and she writes really well and she's got movie ideas. She wants to make a movie. Oh. Patrick, don't tell her I'm a filmmaker, please. Inquiries by email only. stuckinhuntsville@gmail.com. That's real. stuckinhuntsville@gmail.com. Inquiries by email only. Please don't pitch movies ideas at me. Please don't do that. Don't.